The narrative unfolds with the poignant tale of Manji, a lone samurai, whose life is intertwined with the tragic fate of his sister, Machi. The genesis of Manji's tumultuous journey stems from a fateful encounter with corruption, leading him to eliminate his tainted superiors, including Machi's husband. The aftermath of this act leaves Machi unhinged, burdening Manji with an overwhelming sense of guilt and an unwavering commitment to care for his now mentally fragile sister. As a consequence of his actions, Manji becomes a fugitive, relentlessly pursued by hunters eager to claim the bounty on his head. Amidst this perilous existence, Manji's world is further disrupted when Machi mysteriously disappears one day. Frantically scouring the depths of a dense forest, he encounters an enigmatic old woman, purportedly 800 years old. Despite the mystique surrounding her, Manji dismisses her presence and presses on. His relentless search leads him to a shocking discovery: Machi, held captive by a formidable group of Ronin. Intent on claiming the bounty on Manji, the group becomes an ominous threat. Tragically, despite Manji's willingness to disarm, Machi falls victim to a ruthless samurai among the Ronin. Left bereft and injured, Manji confronts the entire Ronin cohort, his spirit undeterred by the loss of an arm and a wounded eye. His resilience is fueled by a burning desire for revenge against those who took his sister's life. A brutal confrontation ensues, with each member of the Ronin group meeting their demise at Manji's hands. The climactic showdown leaves only the leader of the Ronin standing, setting the stage for a face-to-face battle. Despite being battered and weakened, Manji summons his last vestiges of strength to emerge victorious, vanquishing the Ronin leader with a decisive stroke of his sword. As the battle dust settles, Manji staggers toward Machi's lifeless form, offering a heartfelt apology for his perceived failure to protect her. Overwhelmed by the weight of his experiences, he collapses to the ground, the culmination of a harrowing journey marked by sacrifice, vengeance, and an enduring love for his sister. Shortly thereafter, the enigmatic elderly woman he had encountered earlier reappeared. Manji implored her to end his life, prompting the old lady to wield a small knife and make a minor incision in his stomach, causing him to bleed. Subsequently, she unveiled a petite parcel and scattered sacred bloodworms onto Manji's blood, miraculously healing all the injuries on his body. Astonishingly, his severed hand reattached itself and his wounded eye underwent a miraculous recovery. Half a century later, within the grounds of a swordsmanship dojo, the dojo owner, enjoying a meal with his wife and daughter, Rin Asano, found himself confronted by Kagehisa Anotsu and his faction of Ito-ryu troops. Kagehisa's purpose in approaching Rin's father was to enlist him in the Ito-ryu group, a coalition of samurai assassins aiming to unite all sword schools nationwide. Kagehisa disclosed the massacre of all dojo members present, issuing a dire ultimatum: join or face death. Unyielding, Rin's father drew his sword, engaging Kagehisa in combat. Despite Kagehisa's threats, Rin's father proved to be a formidable opponent, dispatching Kagehisa with a single lethal blow. Tragically, Rin witnessed her father's demise and her mother vanished without a trace. Consequently, she lived a solitary existence. In the ensuing years, the once young Rin matured into a teenage girl. One day, as she visited her father's resting place, a mysterious elderly woman approached her during prayer. Inquisitive about her intentions, the woman questioned what her next steps would be. Determined, she expressed her desire to locate her mother and exact vengeance upon the Ito-ryu group, specifically aiming to end Kagehisa's life. The elderly woman chuckled, doubting her ability to overcome them, and out of compassion suggested she consider hiring a skilled protector. Imparting valuable information, the elderly woman revealed the existence of an immortal samurai named Manji, who could potentially serve as her bodyguard. Following this advice, Rin set out to find Manji, navigating through the woods until she stumbled upon his weathered dwelling. Manji, taken aback by the uncanny resemblance of Rin's face to that of his sister, received an unexpected visitor. Rin earnestly implored Manji to assist her in seeking retribution against the Ito-ryu group and eliminating its leader, Kagehisa. Initially resistant, Manji hesitated, recognizing the distinction between revenge and mere anger. He believed not all adversaries deserved a forfeited existence. Yet, as Rin departed, leaving his humble abode, Manji sensed the potential danger she faced from assailants on her journey. Consequently, he chose to accompany Rin to the forest's edge. During their journey, they encountered Sabato Kuroi, a member of the Ito-ryu, who brazenly intercepted them. To Rin's horror, Sabato bore two human heads shrouded in white cloth on his shoulders. When one of the coverings was removed, Rin was dismayed to see her mother's head displayed on Sabato's shoulder. Reacting swiftly, she attacked Sabato with a concealed knife, but her efforts were futile as he effortlessly deflected each thrown blade. Subsequently, Manji intervened to shield Rin from harm. Engaging in combat with the resilient Sabato, a fierce confrontation unfolded. Despite Sabato's formidable strength, he managed to thrust his katana into Manji's chest. In a swift turn of events, Manji collapsed to the ground, and Sabato advanced menacingly towards Rin. Just as Sabato poised to unsheath his sword against Rin, Manji remarkably rose to his feet, surprising Sabato, and swiftly plunging a weapon into his back. Within moments, Sabato succumbed to death. Word of Sabato's demise reached Kagehisa, coinciding with the arrival of Habaki, an elderly figure with connections to the shogunate government. In the midst of Kagehisa's reception of this news, Habaki disclosed his intention to establish a sword school in Japan and sought Kagehisa's tutelage. Agreeing to this proposal, Kagehisa stipulated that the school should bear the name Ito-Ryu with him as its principal. Habaki excused himself to obtain approval from the shogun's council. Meanwhile, Rin was found honing Manji's sword at a small shop, where she inadvertently encountered her father's sword on display. When she attempted to handle it, the shop owner swiftly retrieved it, revealing it was currently owned by a member of the Ito-Ryu group. Rushing home, Rin informed Manji of this discovery, prompting him to embark on a quest to locate the individual who possessed Rin's father's sword. Within the heart of the forest, they encountered each other in a fierce confrontation. The battle unfolded with a delicate equilibrium, as both combatants wielded lethal techniques to outmaneuver their adversaries. In a pivotal moment, Manji found himself ensnared in quicksand, struggling to move. Seizing the opportunity, his adversary promptly thrust a sword into Manji's chest. Yet, drawing on his seasoned combat experience, Manji swiftly counterattacked, reciprocating with a stab that forced his opponent to retreat. Extracting the sword lodged in his chest, strange worms emerged, covering the wound, leaving his injured opponent in shock. Following the skirmish, Manji retraced his steps to his dwelling. Meanwhile, his adversary, having been rescued, returned to the gathering place of the Ito-Ryu. There, he relayed the information to Kagehisa, revealing that Rin, the daughter of the man their father had killed, had enlisted the services of an immortal bodyguard who defied death by sword. In response, Kagehisa dispatched Eiku Shizuma to confront Manji. Upon their meeting, Eiku extended an invitation for Manji to join forces in eliminating Kagehisa. Manji declined the proposal, but as Eiku was about to depart, he unexpectedly attacked, sparking an inevitable confrontation. Although Manji successfully inflicted a wound on Eiku, the latter astonishingly endured and did not succumb to death. It was revealed that Eiku too harbored immortal worms within his body, having lived for more than 2 centuries. Subsequently, Eiku left Manji and Rin. On his way home, Manji, whose body bore the wounds from Eiku's sword, suddenly faltered. Witnessing this, Rin took the initiative to seek out a healer for his injuries. However, during her solitary journey, she fell prey to a kidnapping orchestrated by Eiku. Manji swiftly intervened to rescue Rin, leading to a fierce clash between the two immortal warriors. The battle escalated until both combatants thrust their swords at each other. In the aftermath, Manji, weakened by the stab wound, lay limp. Seizing the moment, Eiku extracted the sword lodged in Manji's body and coated it with a poisonous liquid. He explained that the liquid was worm poison, capable of neutralizing the curse of the worms, and both could face death if the poisoned sword was unsheathed. The confrontation resumed, with the warriors exchanging sword strikes until Eiku met his demise, succumbing to his own poisoned weapon. Meanwhile, at the Ito-Ryu headquarters, Kagehisa received a visit from Habaki, bearing news that the shogunate's chairman council approved Kagehisa's proposal to establish a sword school. Kagehisa was appointed to lead the school, and Habaki extended an invitation for Kagehisa to meet the shogunate's head coach on Mount Takao. Accepting the invitation, Kagehisa prepared for the journey. However, before heading to Mount Takao, he received word of Eiku's death and promptly ordered his associates to eliminate Manji. Among his formidable confidants was Maki Otono Tachibana, a skilled woman. The scene shifted to Rin and Manji in Fukagawa, where they encountered a mysterious woman. Sensing danger, Manji observed the woman's movements and, true to his instincts, she challenged him to a fight. This woman turned out to be Maki, proficient in using her sword weapon. She demonstrated agility, launching attacks that included slashing Manji's wrist until it fractured. As Manji sat, weakened by the relentless stab wounds, Maki poised to deliver a final blow. Unexpectedly, upon seeing Manji no longer resisting, a realization seemed to dawn on Maki, a sudden awareness of the harm she had inflicted on others. In that moment, Rin arrived, brandishing a sword and ready to confront Maki. Surprisingly, Maki implored Manji to take care of Rin, then departed, leaving the two alone. The following day, Rin and Manji strolled through the city, witnessing a skirmish between an Ito Ryu member and Shira's foreign companion. It was revealed that Shira, using the name Manji, had been eliminating numerous Ito Ryu members. Amidst this revelation, they acquainted themselves with Shira, who disclosed that Kagehisa planned to journey alone to Mount Takao the next day. They forged an alliance, vowing to jointly confront Kagehisa on the mountain. However, their journey to Mount Takao was interrupted by three unfamiliar adversaries. Although they managed to overcome them, Rin intervened when Shira sought to torment a woman who had attacked them. This act of compassion incurred Shira's wrath, leading him to turn against Rin with lethal intent. Manji intervened, protecting Rin and severing Shira's hand. Shira, thwarted, fled from the scene. Later in the afternoon, upon Manji's return home from town, he discovered Rin missing. Instead, he found a letter from her declaring her intention to avenge her father alone. Alarmed, he hastily embarked on a quest to locate her. The scene shifted to Mount Takao, where Kagehisa met Kensui Ibane, the head coach of the shogunate, with profound respect evident in their interaction. However, during the meeting, Kensui informed Kagehisa that he would not align himself with the Ito Ryu group, yet failed to disclose the reasons for his decision. Disheartened by this revelation, Kagehisa left the Kensui residence in disappointment. While descending Mount Takao, Kagehisa found himself unexpectedly encircled by Hibaki and his troops. What was once an offer from Hibaki to establish a sword school had now transformed into betrayal, revealing that Kagehisa had been framed by the very person who extended the offer. Hibaki, driven by the belief that the Ito Ryu Association had become an enemy of the people, initiated an assault against Kagehisa. Alone, Kagehisa faced the overwhelming numbers of Hibaki's troops in a relentless fight. Amidst a chase through the forest, Kagehisa crossed paths with Rin. However, their encounter was short-lived as Hibaki's troops closed in on both of them. In this critical moment, Rin questioned the fairness of the battle, challenging the samurai code they purportedly adhered to. Unmoved by Rin's plea, Hibaki callously ordered one of his men to kill her. Just in the nick of time, Manji arrived, saving Rin. Subsequently, Manji confronted Rin, questioning her decision to defend Kagehisa when the troops were poised to kill him. Expressing annoyance at Rin's solitary and perilous venture, Manji, Rin, and Kagehisa united to confront the overwhelming forces of Hibaki. A fierce battle unfolded, with the trio facing an unequal number of opponents. In the midst of the conflict, Maki intervened to aid Kagehisa. Tragically, she sacrificed herself when Hibaki's troops unleashed a barrage of weapons upon Kagehisa. In the intensity of the fight, Shira seized the opportunity to kidnap Rin. Manji swiftly pursued, ultimately rescuing Rin and putting an end to Shira's life. Returning to the ongoing battle between Kagehisa and Hibaki's army, Kagehisa demonstrated formidable prowess, defeating all of Hibaki's troops. Only Hibaki, the leader, remained alive. Eventually, the confrontation escalated into a one-on-one duel between Kagehisa and Hibaki. Despite Hibaki's seniority, he proved no match for Kagehisa's exceptional swordsmanship. Their brief clash concluded with Hibaki's demise. With the battlefield cleared, only Manji, Rin, and Kagehisa remained. Honoring his promise to Rin, Manji engaged in combat against Kagehisa. A fierce and skillful confrontation ensued between two adept warriors. Ultimately, Kagehisa's sword was disarmed, and Manji inflicted injuries that brought him to the ground. In a pivotal moment, as Manji prepared to deliver the final blow, he summoned Rin to carry out the execution. Approaching Kagehisa with a sword in hand, Rin hesitated, grappling with the moral dilemma of taking a life. Seizing the opportunity, Kagehisa attempted to strike Rin, but Manji intervened, shielding her from the attack. Witnessing Manji being impaled by Kagehisa's sword, Rin, spurred by the gravity of the situation, retaliated by thrusting her sword into Kagehisa's abdomen, leading to his demise. The film concludes, leaving behind a poignant message about the toll of revenge, highlighting the truth that seeking retribution can result in numerous victims. The narrative echoes the wisdom that an eye for an eye can ultimately leave the world blind. Wrapping up Blade of the Immortal, does the journey of redemption strike a chord with your sense of justice? How does the film portray the complex nature of morality and vengeance? Join the discussion in the comments, Moon Explorers, and participate in our poll on the pursuit of redemption. Does the pursuit of redemption in Blade of the Immortal resonate with your sense of justice? Your participation keeps the movie magic alive. If you relish this recap, don't forget to hit subscribe and give us a thumbs up for more enchanting content. Thanks for watching.